The sky turns red, the air grows thick with the scent of copper, and the sons of Sanguinius have finally lost their grip on sanity. Welcome back, Battle Brothers. Today we're diving into the heart of the storm, the rage-cursed Onslaught. The detachment for my boys in red, black and gold, the Blood Angels. Welcome. I'm Mark, or Spoon, whatever you want to call me. Welcome to my channel, Rash Rolls Ones. So, the Rage Cursed Onslaught is one of the premier ways to play Blood Angels in 10th. It represents a chapter at its most desperate and feral. Units fully succumb to the Black Rage. Whilst other detachments focus on jump pack finesse or tactical flexibility, this one is a blunt instrument designed to maximize the output of your death company. To make this detachment work, you're going to need your angry boys, okay, your death company. You'll need death company with jump packs. They are fast and deadly with power fists and inferno pistols and plasma pistols, eviscerators and chainswords. Brilliant. You're going to need Lamartis. The MVP, undoubtedly. He reduces damage to his Death Company squad and he gives lethal hits to his entire unit as well. Then we've got the Death Company Dreadnought, because a giant robot screaming about Horus is exactly what your front line needs. It's surprisingly durable and it hits like a freight train. So then guys, we go straight into the detachment rules. The rule is called Maddened Ferocity. Each time an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army makes a melee attack, re-roll a wound of 1. Each time an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army is selected to fight, if you have charged this turn until the end of the phase, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of melee weapons. If your unit is battle shocked, add 2 to the attack's characteristic of melee weapons equipped instead. So we want a battle shock and absolutely wreck face. Next up we've got enhancements. We've got Carmine Reliquary, that is 30 points. It's for chaplain only models. The bearer's unit gains Scout 6 ability. Each time you take a battle shock test within 6 inches of the bearer, you can re-roll the result. So if you want to re-roll a result to make sure you get battle shocked, you can absolutely do this. I like the idea of this on a chaplain in Terminator armor with 10 assault Terminators and just plonk them on an objective and be like, come at me, bro. Yeah. Also, I'm going to be using it in a tournament this weekend with the chaplain on a bike and some outriders and seeing how that does me, because I think that could be quite sweet as well. Next we've got Master of the Red Thirst. That's 25 points. An Adeptus Astartes unit only, fights first once per game. I think that's brilliant. I'm going to put it on a Sanguinary Priest and chuck that with a Blade Guard veteran squad. And I think that's going to be fantastic. Have a fights first Blade Guard vet squad with the extra AP and all that jazz. Yeah, brilliant. Next we've got Sanguinary Tier, 35 points, Adeptus Astartes unit only, Death Company within 6 of the bearer, add 1 to the strength characteristic of weapons equipped in that unit. Fantastic, good little bubble, really good for buffing up those Death Company to get them into hopefully a break point. I don't think it actually will do at this point, but there are ways and means that you could possibly add another strength with a strat. Angel's Fang, 25 points. Adeptus Astartes model only. Each time the bearer makes a melee attack that targets a character, monster or vehicle, that attack gains the Sustain 2 ability. Brilliant. Whack that on a captain or a Death Company captain, something like that, and just missile them at something you want dead. Fantastic. Okay, next up, guys, we have stratagems. We've got a Grim Warning, that is 1 CP. Any Blood Angels unit that was just destroyed whilst in range of one or more objective markers you controlled at the end of the previous phase, you can sticky that objective. The objective remains under your control until your opponent's level of OC is over that objective is actually greater. So plonk something on there. If it gets shot off, you can sticky it. Fantastic. Then we've got Armor of Contempt, 1 CP. You guys know what this one does. In your shooting or fight phase, after it's selected its targets, one Adeptus Astartes unit that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks, until the attacking unit has finished making its attacks, worsen the AP by that attack by 1. Okay, does what it says on the tin. Most Space Marine detachments have this. Brilliant, useful little one. Then we've got Insensate Rampage, 1 CP. In your opponent's shooting or fight phase, after it's selected its targets, target one Death Company unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, models in that unit have a 5-up Feel No Pain ability. Brilliant. Up the Feel No Pain on your Death Company. Brilliant. That's going to be fantastic on the Death Company Dread. It's going to be really useful when you're throwing a big brick of Death Company Marines into the fray with Lamates. Fantastic. Love it. Okay, so next up for the stratagems, we've got Limb from Limb. It's 1 CP. In the fight phase, target one Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that made a charge move this turn. Select either the strength or AP characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models. Add 1 to the selected characteristic. Or give in to the Red Thirst, battle shock yourself, and add 1 to both your strength and AP. Again, fantastic on Blade Guard, Sanguinary Guard. You'll be able to boost the AP of Blade Guard up to AP 4. And with the Sanguinary Guard, because you battle shocked yourself, if you do both, you've got the banner, so they still will have OC. So once you wipe that unit, you're probably still going to be able to hold the objective afterwards. Next, we've got Deathless Duty. That's 2 CP. In the fight phase, just after an enemy has selected its targets, select 1 Death Company unit, and that unit can fight on death. After it's fought, remove the models from play. Brilliant. Your big Death Company brick can fly into something. If it's a fight's first unit, it's still going to get to fight even after the models have died. Brilliant. You don't have to roll for it. There's no 4-up. It's just a flat pay 2 CP and you're fighting on death. Really, really good. Next, we've got Red Wrath. In your movement phase, just after an Adeptus Astartes unit advances, until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to advance and shoot or advance and charge. You can instead give in to the Red Thirst, become battle shocked, advance, shoot and charge. Brilliant. Again, useful for Sanguinary Guard or anything you want running at the enemy to advance and shoot or advance and charge or both. Again, if you're doing both, you become battle shocked. That makes the second part of your detachment rule kick in, giving you 2 extra attacks. Really, really good. Okay guys, so next up we're gonna run to my list that I'm gonna be taking this weekend to my local Swordwind tournament, my Warhammer 40k UKTC 2000 points tournament. I'm going to be taking my Blood Angels just because I want to try out this detachment and see if I can like do pretty well with it. The list I've got I quite like, so we'll just see how that goes. I'll pop it up right now. Okay guys, here it is. This is my list for this weekend's tournament. I've called it Will It Blend? I've got Chief Librarian Mephiston for some lone op and various shenanigans. He's got advance and charge. He's got fights first. Not a meta choice, but I love the model and I want to see him do well. I know he's a bit swingy with his damage, but I love him. He's just such a boss. Then we've got Lamatis. He's going to be swinging out with 10 Death Company with jump packs. I've got the Chaplain on bike with the Carmine Reliquary. That's the enhancement that allows his unit to scout 6. He's going to be running with the 3 Outriders. I've got Commander Dante. He's going to be with a nice big blob of Sanguinary Guard. I've got a Sanguinary Priest with Master of the Red first for the Fights First enhancement. He's going to be with a nice big blob of Blade Guard Vets. I've got a 5-man Intercessor squad to sticky my home objective and move forwards. I've got my, as stated before, 6 Blade Guard veteran squad. I've got my 10 Death Company Marines with jump packs. I've got 5 infiltrators that will more than likely screen out my backfield and stop anyone from deep striking there. I've got my 6 Sanguinary Guard as stated before. I've got my scouts to jump out and do cool things, hopefully land on an objective and maybe terraform for me. Sorry. I've also got 2 5-man assault intercessors with jump packs. They're just there to do monkey work for me, score me some points, get some secondary objectives. I've got my 3 Outriders. They're going to be jumping on with Chaplain on bike. I've got my Baal Pred. He's got all the flamethrowers in the world and I'm just going to toast my enemies with him. It's going to be fantastic. I love the Baal Predator. I think he's such a brilliant little unit. And the fact that he can advance and shoot his weapons as well is just amazing. Then I've got my Death Company Dreadnought. He's just going to go out and wreck face somewhere and it's going to be brilliant. I love the Death Company Dreadnought. It's one of my favourite models to paint and to use. He's just an absolute beat stick. Okay, so there we have it guys. That's the Rage Cursed Onslaught detachment for Blood Angels. I really can't wait to use this weekend. It's going to be fantastic. If you like the video, please like, please subscribe. It helps boost the channel, gets my algorithm going, and hopefully this can reach more people and I can keep doing more and more videos as we go. Really enjoying this so far. All you guys are absolute bosses. Be good to each other and take it easy.